Hello, I'm attorney Paul Whalen from Afford Law. At Afford Law, we practice criminal and family law throughout Massachusetts. Our fees are all based on a sliding scale, which is based on your income. That means the less you make, the less you pay. Today, I wanted to talk to you about alimony. Alimony, specifically in a Massachusetts divorce. What is alimony? Well, essentially, alimony is payment by one partner paid to the other partner or ex-spouse. It's The purpose of alimony is to keep the receiving spouse living at a lifestyle to which they have grown accustomed. So basically, it's given when one spouse has more earning potential or earning power at the time, and they give some of their money, well, not give, they are ordered to give some of their money to the spouse in order to sort of even out the scales, if you will. And the whole idea behind alimony is that if one spouse is typically what happens is if one spouse is tasked with raising the children, staying at home, raising the children, for instance, that person cannot pursue their career, cannot pursue educational opportunities that might otherwise be available to them, so that they are in a economically disadvantaged position. So they haven't advanced their careers, they haven't advanced their education because they have been devoted to raising the children. And as a result, the courts feel that that person should be compensated if the couple splits. So usually you see this sort of thing is if one spouse is able to focus on his or her career, they make great advancements, their earning potential goes up, and they start earning a lot more money while the other person is staying at home with the children. That person, the earning spouse, was able to get to that point economically because they didn't have to devote as much time at home with the family. So as a result of the marital contract, if you will, that the stay-at-home spouse has been disadvantaged and should receive some compensation from the other party. So basically, alimony can work can get paid in one of three ways typically. They can be a lump sum payment where at one point just one person gives a bunch of money to the other person at the time of divorce, say, or at a future stated date and time. Or there can be a property transfer, so it doesn't have to be cash necessarily. It could be the home, it could be some sort of stocks, bonds, something of value other than cash. And it could be periodic monthly payments, and that's the most typical. So every month, the paying spouse pays a certain amount to the payee spouse, so that they have that money for their own use. Typically, alimony is available only in marriages that are of significant length, say over 5 years. Marriage of shorter durations are less likely to get alimony, and shorter durations, even say 5 years or so, would typically a receiving spouse would receive less in alimony than say if the marriage was of 30 years in duration, which makes sense because the longer that person is in that position, the longer their spouse is able to advance their career and earn more money, the more likely a judge would say, well, it's more equitable, it's more fair that the receiving spouse receive more money. So basically, the court looks to the length of the marriage, the age and health of each spouse's income, each spouse's employment and employability. If either spouse has a particular lifestyle that they have, as I say, grown accustomed to, and any economic opportunities that the receiving spouse has lost out to as a result of the marital situation. There are four types of alimony that can be awarded. There's general term alimony, there's rehabilitative alimony, reimbursement alimony, and transitional alimony. That was a tough one for me to say. And how much alimony will be ordered is an open question. It's not like child support. There's no formula for it. As in child support, you take certain numbers, the income of one spouse, the income of the other spouse, how many children, who's paying for health care and how much. Basically, you put that all into a formula, and it comes out with a pretty hard and fast number that the child support is going to be. There can be an adjustment up or down depending on certain factors, but all within a certain range. But that's not true with alimony. Alimony is more of a gray area. The judge has much more discretion in setting alimony. First of all, whether to have any alimony, and secondly, if so, in what amount. So, as I say, the marriage is typically of 5 years and longer would qualify for alimony, and that would last for a period of time specified, typically specified in the separation agreement. However, if something comes up, you can always go back to court and try to either try to end the alimony, try to extend it, or try to raise it or decrease it. And basically, the most common reasons for doing so and trying to change the amount of alimony is if either spouse dies, if the receiving spouse that gets the alimony is remarried or lives with a person for more than 3 months, or if the spouse paying the alimony reaches full retirement age, and that's something that has to be decided by a judge as well. Alimony can be extended for material if there are material circumstances that require it. So even if alimony has an end date, it's possible to extend that period of time if there are extenuating circumstances. So that's basically alimony in a nutshell. As I say, if at a Ford law, we do practice family law as well as criminal law in Massachusetts, and we do so on a sliding scale. So our fees are all based on your income. That means that the less you earn, the less you have to pay for our services. Feel free to visit us at affordlaw.org, and feel free to book a free virtual appointment with me. I'd be happy to answer any questions you might have about family law or criminal law in Massachusetts, because at Afford Law, we're making justice affordable. Thank you.